Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Kayfabe Today podcast, TLC edition. That's right, we all needed a little tender love and care. So Robbie and Travis and myself decided to get together. We're going to hug it out, Dan O'Brien and Kane style. And we're going to get through what I think was a pretty good pay-per-view here. Now, normally, we would just do this with the Raw and SmackDown recaps. But you know what? Travis and I were doing another podcast, which is coming soon. So keep an eye out on that over on his channel. It's a very big secret. No one knows about it except everybody on Twitter.
Yeah.
And we decided, you know, Travis lost power, but I had too much left to say. So I hit up Robbie in the DMs. And here we are. We're going to recap TLC for you, which was this past Sunday. Very good pay-per-view. But before we get there, Travis, how are you today? And, you know, pimp out your shit, homie.
Dude, we were just talking about homies. Doing good. Long time no talk. You can follow me on Twitter, as always, at @TheHibikkiTMD. Check out HibikkiTMD on YouTube, the Reset Button, Slam Pigs Podcast, and right here, Kayfabe Today. All the goodness.
And Robbie Radford, my son. I made a beautiful thumbnail with a father and son duo. You know, I had a father T-shirt. Robbie had the son T-shirt, and it weirded him out. But he's here anyway. I don't know for how much longer, if he keeps disrespecting me like that, disrespecting my art. But, Robbie, how are you today, besides being a terrible art critic? How are you?
I'm good. I'm in a great mood, to be honest. The wrestling has kept me in a good mood.
Lots to be happy about.
Yeah. Holler if you hear me.
Good one, Robbie. All right, so we're going to kick off TLC. We're just going to go right through it. You guys know the drill. If you're a long-time listener, if you're not, well, you know, where the fuck have you been? I guess we're glad to have you. Now featured, yes, we're now featured on Grapple Vision. Our buddy Tonka hooked that up. So, you know, we're not putting every episode because I want people to have a reason to come check out my channel. But we'll put the big episodes, you know, the pre-pay-per-views. We'll put them up there. You know, get some fans, get some eyes. Robbie has a new fan from the podcast. He's making people laugh in their kitchen with his stories from work.
I saw that.
Oh, yeah.
I read that, and I was like, good job, Robbie. I swelled with pride as a father.
Nice.
Thank God Robbie's on the show.
Yeah. Well, no, I think most people came to listen to Drew not say anything for 45 minutes at a time. Oh, I love you, Drew. Drew,
but is that when he does say something, it's usually like 5-star.
He's like the silent Bob of Kayfabe Today. He doesn't speak often, but when he does, it's like a nugget of wisdom.
I equate it to like the altitude high atop Mountain Drew. It makes his ears pop when he talks, so he doesn't do it a lot.
And I'm definitely the fucking J of this podcast. Oh, that being said, let's get into the pre-show. Did either of you guys watch it?
Yep.
You did? Wow, that's a first.
I was waiting for a takeaway, so I thought I'll kill time.
Fair enough. What about you, Travis? Did you check it out?
When the show was happening live, I was actually at work. I didn't come in till Mickey James' post-match speech, but I have gone back and I've watched everything, so yes.
Okay. Well, I didn't watch it, so how was it?
Shit.
Well, fair enough.
I can't remember the pre. Oh, it was Sasha Banks. That says enough.
Oh, really. Yeah, I should have said. It was Dollar Store Rihanna versus Cash Me Outside, also known as Alicia Fox versus Sasha Banks.
This match. Okay, I know we'll get to it on Thursday because of circumstance, but like, when you consider this match and then you consider like what they did on Monday, it was very redundant.
Yeah. Yeah, very typical. But yeah, Sasha Banks won via submission. I didn't watch it, so I have no opinion. But I'm not a fan of Sasha Banks. I am a fan of Alicia Fox now, but at the time of this match, I wasn't, so I didn't really particularly care.
I think I'm a fan of Alicia Fox when they let her be fucking Alicia Fox. You know what I mean? Not this cookie cutter carbon copy of every other woman we've seen for the last 15 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair. I like it when they let her be like all out crazy because she's very good at it.
Yeah.
I'd be fucking terrified to be her boyfriend, though.
Yeah, she's generally like that in real life. All reports seem to suggest. So,
was there really only one match on the pre-show?
Yeah, because you had Drew Gulak's presentation.
Oh, right,
which is fucking hilarious.
Oh,
I love his presentations.
Yeah, this wasn't on the recap here. Do you guys want to? Is there anything of note that you guys want? Like, what is it exactly? I've never seen them.
It's pretty much like on 205 Live. He comes out. Right now, the angle's geared towards him and Tozawa. So he'll show a bunch of slides about why not to chant or things like the one, it looked like a character from Tekken, but everyone assumed it was like them ribbing on Okada because it was like a character with it's pretty much him like bashing New Japan wrestlers and shit for the most part. I would say, Robbie, would you?
Yeah, it's pretty, like, I really enjoy it. He's just, I like how he's maybe one of the only guys that has gone to 205 Live and he's actually got a personality and an actual character.
Well, I do have to say like, not to talk about Raw, but the when he did, Enzo's entrance.
Oh my god,
that was fucking hilarious.
My name is Enzo Amore.
How are you doing?
But to hear our full thoughts, you have to tune in on Thursday to hear what we think about Drew Gulak and his promo on Monday Night Raw. But moving right along here with TLC, we got Asuka versus Emma. Asuka making her main roster debut. I thought I liked this match. I thought it was good, and here's why. I saw a lot of people saying that, she should have come in and she should have just squashed Emma, but I disagree. I think a competitive match is a good way to get somebody over, plus you're not hurting Emma.
Plus, and not one time in NXT were any of her matches a squash. They were competitive.
That's very true. That's what makes her streak that much more impressive. Like kayfabe wise here, obviously. She's a hard fighting champion, but she always seems to find a way to fight a little bit harder than her opponent, and that continued this story perfectly fine with somebody who has been in there with her before. I thought this was good. I thought it was a good debut. I thought it was a really good debut.
Yeah, the match itself was pretty good. I think, unfortunately, a lot of people were crying out for a squash match, which is maybe why it didn't get the overall reaction like it wanted. Maybe not in the arena, but like to the internet, it's never happy anyway. But
there's that.
and also, the way I saw it was like, even though she's undefeated since 2015.
That's fucking crazy.
Like, she beat this person who is on the main roster, and like, you're kind of glad that she had to struggle for it in some parts, because it's like, maybe Asuka thought she was coming up. Maybe the story could be that Asuka was coming up, thought she was going to have towards the end of her NXT run.
Well, you cut out there. You cut out there for a second, Robbie. Just repeat what you said.
Basically, I'm saying that Emma made it more difficult for Asuka than she should have done. I mean, Emma made it more difficult for Asuka than Asuka probably hoped.
It also totally shows how jaded and cynical modern fans can be, because all we've heard for months, right, when Asuka wasn't even a blip on the main roster, was give Emma a chance, give her a fucking chance. Now squash the bitch in 2 seconds. God, people, what do you want? I don't understand. And it's not like Emma's a pushover. She shouldn't have been squashed. I agree.
Travis went from 0 to fuck yeah in like 0.4 seconds.
I'm just like, that's how fans are. They're so like, oh, let's give this person a chance. But when something shiny and brand fucking new comes along, it's fuck everybody else. And it never fails.
No,
but the thing is, as well, if you start squashing people on the main roster, I mean, SmackDown and Raw are split brands, so it's only going to take her like 4 weeks to squash the whole roster. If they want to start squashing people. Like NXT, you could get people from the developmental center. You could get, like, I know they call them local talent, and they could do that for Asuka, but it wouldn't be as like impressive.
Well, she's not a Nia Jax. She's not this, like, there's not this big size difference between.
She's not fucking Lars Sullivan.
Yeah, she's not built as a monster, because she isn't a monster. So why build her that way? Not every person that debuts has to debut to a complete squash.
Yeah.
Exactly. My God,
if you do that, if you debut her, because quite frankly, we know there's people, casuals, that don't know who else. I mean, they may know video games, but if you debut someone like that with a squash, then they're going to expect a squash every time, and we don't deliver, it might make the character look a little weak in the casual's eyes. You know what I mean? It's a fine line.
Yeah, exactly. It's the internet. People are going to bitch. But I thought it was a good match. I thought both, like, what I noticed is that not only did Asuka look good, but Emma didn't. I didn't think after this match, like, oh man, Emma really sucked. I thought she looked good too. So, you know, you're debuting someone, making them look good, and you're not hurting the talent that's already there. My God, they did something smart.
Yes.
I'm fine with it. I thought it was good. Thought it was a hell of a way to kick off the show too. I mean, just get that out of the way. Get the debut that everybody's waiting for. Just get it out of the way. Why not? Give the people what they're there for right off the bat. Then you can just let people settle into the show. Smart booking.
I saw that too. A lot of people like, why did they open the show with that? It made perfect sense because Christ, look at what we had on the updated card. You had to spread that out. There's no way you couldn't spread that. No.
It's almost like, imagine if they open the show with Balor Styles. Like, people would be sitting on the hands for a good hour in between that and something else.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's perfect spot.
So it's like having people just don't fuck. I hate the majority of the WWE fan base, lads. Like,
yeah, that's.
Yep.
and I know I'm painting over the whole thing, but to say in the circumstance, the show was really fucking good.
The show was awesome. It was better
This
with the
kicked off-
changes.
Yeah, this match kicked off the show in the right direction.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of expected this to be okay, and it was really good. So
I thought it was. I thought in terms of booking, I thought it was the perfect match to put on first. It got people. A lot of people were there to see Asuka, to see that debut. I'm convinced there's a lot of people that were there to see that debut, and then, you know, you give them that right off the bat. Everybody's all excited. Everybody's all happy, and then you send them to a cruiserweight match.
I was going to say the problem is what they followed up with.
Well, they followed it up with Team BLM of Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander versus Team White Privilege of Jack Gallagher and Brian Kendrick.
I heard that as BLT in my head at first. Like, now I'm hungry.
No, I made that joke to myself on the pay-per-view, and I thought it was really funny. I couldn't wait to use it on the Team BLM versus Team White Privilege.
God forbid you cheer for Team White Privilege.
No. I let the record state I was firmly in Team BLM's corner. Okay, I didn't want to be. No, I'm not a white supremacist. Okay, don't bring that around here. No, but in all seriousness, it was Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander versus Jack Gallagher and Brian Kendrick. I actually paid attention and I enjoyed it.
Good
I thought
match.
for what it was, I thought it was a very good match. I don't know. I like gentleman Jack Gallagher. I like him the way he's dressed, all dapper with his nice shoes, his dress shoes. I think it suits him. It suits him because he has that weird mustache, and you know he's got that. And what have I been saying? He needs to change his song. He needs to change his entrance music. And what happened? It changed his music.
I
didn't hear it though.
Song.
Oh, is it good?
I like it.
I like it, yeah. I like it too. You know how a lot of times when you hear like a wrestler, they change their theme and you're like, ugh, I don't like it right off the bat. And then it takes like a couple weeks and then you just get used to it. This was like, no, okay, this works. Like right off the bat, I was like, yeah, this works. I'm okay with this. So, but as far as the match goes, what did you guys think?
It was good.
It was standard. What you see on 205 Live. I mean, people actually stick around and don't take a piss break during these matches. You always get tremendous matches. The problem, I think all of us agree, is these matches never mean anything, right? Unless it's a title match or number one contendership. And also, I want to say, now that Jack Gallagher's a heel, is it me, or he comes off super creepy in a way? Like when he's doing heel tag. I don't know if it's his look, but I don't know.
Do you guys think that the Cruiserweight division needs tag team straps? Just to have... Like do they have enough guys, first of all? But to have like a secondary motivation, like have a secondary title so that there is more for the guys to do.
They could have like a they honestly should have a ranking system. And I've been saying it for years. Well, obviously not for fucking years, but like I've been saying it since the day like we found out there's going to be 205 Live, that they should copy Evolve in that like the single matches for a reason. So, like, if this guy's, like, ranked number 3, like, kind of like UFC do, if this guy's ranked 3rd and he's ranking second, he's fighting second, then there's a reason for it.
Right.
Like, if they have 2 belts, they don't have that big enough a roster to be going off in 2 different directions. Like, they had, 2 matches on this card, and that was fine. You know, I was okay with that. But, like, they should only have 1 belt. Because... The current, because like, imagine if you had Neville as one champion and then you had like Rich Swann as another one. There's too much going on there.
What do you even name a mid-title cruiserweight title? Like, what would you call it?
Well, that's why I'm thinking I'd lean more towards tag titles.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. I would do tag titles definitely before like a secondary singles title moves. For sure. And I agree with we've actually seen the rankings thing done in wrestling way back in the day in NWA in like 89, 90. It was tremendous. It made every match feel, but it made matches with Brad Armstrong feel fucking important.
Or how about this? I don't remember what it's called, but you know that thing in TNA where they would have like a point system and it would be like for a certain specific amount of time and they would count like house shows and shit like that too. What was it?
See, the problem with that, TNA always like to confuse their fans. And when you start putting points system, like AWA with the Tag Challenge Series, they did the same shit. All that does is confuse your audience. I think the rankings keep it simple and streamlined, and I think that's the way to go, personally.
Fair enough. What about the TV? What about a TV title?
I think NXT desperately needs one.
Jesus.
Yeah.
The dog disagrees.
My dog
I'd
hates
take a TV
NXT.
title for NXT because that championship, nothing gets defended on that fucking show. And like, whenever it does, you know for a fact that it's never going to be lost on the recording.
Right.
So you know what, lads? An NXT TV championship. I'm on board with that.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
Give it to Los Angeles.
Yeah. Have a mid-card title on NXT. I think it would keep things more interesting. Maybe, it'd be easier to add more storylines to feud over the strap. Feud over the strap, boys. What do you think?
Just trying to think. I'm just trying to think how many people are actually on the cruiserweight division. Because I'm trying to think if a tag championship would work. Possibly.
I don't know, yeah.
They'd need a couple more faces, but like, you can take so many from NXT that are just doing nothing and just lie that they're obviously not 205 pounds.
Well, you could put Finn Balor in there. Put him in there, pal.
You could put him in there when he slows down. You could put someone like Kofi Kingston in there. You could put. There's quite a few people you could put in there.
Put Kevin Owens.
Oh, it's 205, not 305.
Heyo. Well, from the cruiserweights, we go to the ladies. Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James for the Raw Women's Championship. Were you not a fan of? Yeah, I was just about to say. I thought it was all right actually. What's your? I'm gonna go, Robbie, by that sound you made when I mentioned the what match we're up to. You weren't a fan?
Okay, I was never a fan of it from the start, and I don't think Mickie James. I know she's a filler contender, but like, I was bored with her. Like, I remember being bored watching her as a kid, and like, watching her now, going down from a fucking happy clapping theme song. Like,
I like her theme.
I saw Mickie James when she debuted. She was like a breath of fresh air at the time in WWE.
Yeah, that's true. I still like her. I think she looks better now than she did before.
And the build to this match is one of the best builds I think they've done all year with the women. And it was simple, just make fun of her age, and it was great. Alexa nailed it.
Yeah, but it's just so what am I looking for? It's so like one
dimensional.
One way. Yeah, one dimensional. Like it's you're old. I beat you. There we go.
That is true, but that's just when. That's how you see when that's how you see how Vince McMahon thinks of women.
Yeah. I guess they've got nothing better to feud over. Like,
hey Vince, we need creative for Alexa versus Mickie. Just tell the bitch she's old.
It's all. You remember when Lay Cool had a program, Mickie James? You probably don't.
Or Vince would have been like,
they kept making fun of Mickie James' weight in that angle.
Well, that's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to say. I was gonna say Vince would be like, just tell her that she's fat. No, Vince, we did that. Tell her she's old.
Piggy James. Probably thought Piggy James was the most hilarious thing.
I like that angle. I don't know why people give that angle such shit.
Because
people
get offended.
Women, right? I forgot. Sensitive. That's true.
Yep.
That's true.
It's just I don't know. I like Alexa Bliss. I really do.
I do too.
I just think
I thought this match was okay, but I can't wait for.
I like the ass smack. The ass smack was the highlight of the match.
I agree.
Alexa looked pissed.
She did, but she kind of liked it. There's an odd sexual tension between the two. It's mostly
So,
on.
Well,
it's
apparently,
like
like
any
that's
of
her idol, legit, and like they put a lot of time into this, training together. Like she's idolized Mickey James.
They put a lot of time. Huh, it doesn't show there, boys. Up next, we got Kalisto versus Enzo Amore in a Cruiserweight Championship match where we played flip-flop with the title.
Tell you what,
Just wait. Before you go, Robbie, I just want to say this real quick. Just when I thought Enzo couldn't get more annoying, Enzo losing his voice, still cutting a promo, tops it. I wanted to fucking bleach my eardrums when that promo was going on. I couldn't fucking stand it. He's so annoying.
It was bad.
It
Was bad. And the whole Kalisto title win was, God, what was the point? Like, let's be real.
I think they were just trying to find a justification of at least to go into 205.
Exactly.
Like
They brought him in so he could win the title, so that they'd be like, look, he's legitimately on 205 Live now.
Yeah. Because if he'd have lost that, they'd have been like, well, why the fuck is he on here anyway then?
Yeah, exactly. They couldn't have him lose right off the bat. Plus, they booked themselves into the corner with the whole, like, no cruiserweight can touch me type thing. So they had to bring in someone new. So they're just like, oh, Kalisto's here. He's a great promo. Let's put him on 205 Live and give him tons of mic time.
Do you know what would be funny? Is Enzo cutting a promo saying, oh, yeah, you all like Neville, but I've won this belt more times than he has. I'm just going off of something like that.
Well, the sad thing is, Neville's a two-time champ because they did the same thing with Akira Tozawa. They put it on him for a week for no reason. When Tozawa is really over, and I didn't get that logic either.
Yeah, they killed his momentum.
They really did. Flat.
Like, and it just fucking, like, and it was like a sudden stop.
And it's going to be even worse with Kalisto now, because Kalisto wasn't really over to begin with.
No, nobody cared. Like, this was the quietest the crowd was all night. Yes, Robbie, go.
Sorry, I've just seen AJ Styles is wrestling one of the Singh brothers tonight on SmackDown.
Yeah. Didn't they make that on Raw? Or wait. Where did I don't know. Maybe I saw it on Twitter today.
Oh, no. Yeah, I've just seen it. That's why. I'm popping for that. Sorry.
It's going to be a match of the year contender. Best match the Singh brothers ever had.
Watch that match tear the house down tonight, too, and you're going to have to eat your words. It's going to be a 5-star match.
Oh, I know I sound sarcastic, but I'm serious.
I look forward to that. They were a good tag team, actually, the Singh brothers.
The Bollywood boys, yeah. Yeah, I like them.
Yeah,
I don't know why they felt the need to change the name, by the way. Like, I thought Bollywood boys was fine. Like, now I just think of Raj and Singh.
They were probably afraid of of being told they're racist somehow.
Oh.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest.
Yeah.
Somebody in PR was like, that's a little insensitive. You're going to want to change that, okay?
You know, Bollywood, that could offend some people.
Oh, hi, Naya.
Hey, nice here.
We miss you on TV.
Hey, Naya, I'm doing good, guys. I'm not quitting. I just took some time off. See ya.
Well, there you go, Scoops. Scoops once again. God damn. She's always giving us the scoops. But yeah, this match was whatever. Enzo won the title, everybody, and no one cared. Next is the match that I was personally looking forward to the most, and it didn't disappoint. The only disappointing thing is that they didn't have about 20 to 30 more minutes to go. Finn Balor versus AJ Styles on loan from SmackDown. Hey guys, he came from South America. Did we mention he came from South America? AJ flew from South America.
Company guy, right there.
What a true.
Yeah, I was going to say he had a really busy week in terms of
shit, dude.
I know the majority of them have busy weeks, but like
it's fucking ridiculous.
This guy,
man, taking one for the team. What a guy, and what hell of a match, man. This guy can go. I'm convinced AJ Styles will be one of those guys that, like, he won't wrestle for, like, a couple years, and then somebody will be like, oh, you want to get into this match, and then he'll just come back and have match of the decade.
Yeah,
okay.
He's the Sarah Shawn Michaels, flat out.
Yeah.
I'm going to come across...
He's better than Shawn Michaels. I think he's better than Shawn Michaels, honestly.
Oh, he was. He doesn't have quite the sort of personality, but in ring,
yeah.
Michaels couldn't tie his boots. And this is like an AJ Styles that's old or older. Like, this isn't peak Styles, and he's still head and shoulders above everyone. It's bizarre.
And him and Balor certainly didn't disappoint.
Well, the way I saw it, and I think this is from seeing Styles for a lot of years and Balor for a lot of years. I really enjoyed it, but at the same time, I was kind of like, I don't know whether this was like all the hype around it, but I don't think it really set the world on fire.
Disagree.
With this match.
Disagree. Somewhat respectfully.
I don't know. I just think they had more to. I think they had more to give. Obviously, we don't know like how much time they were given or how much like freedom they were given. But
I'm telling you, if they would have gotten 10 to 20 minutes more, maybe 15. Let's settle on 15.
Yeah.
15 minutes more. This probably would have been one of the best matches you'd ever seen on a WWE pay-per-view.
Well, they were too busy giving that to Jason Jordan and Elias. They felt like they wrestled a fucking Iron Man match.
Dude, I fucking as much as I can't believe I fucking loved that.
it was so funny.
It was so funny.
3 times.
Yeah, and then he kept saying, and once again.
Yeah, those segments were great. How he kept annoying them, but then they had to wrestle. I think they should have just scrapped the match and just saved for all.
Dude, I would have taken 15 minutes off the main event and given it to Balor and Styles. Honestly.
Yeah.
Hey, I will say though, whilst I said it didn't really light the world on fire for me. If they'd have had that 10 minutes extra, it probably would have.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They needed a bit more time.
I'd like to. I think I have higher standards for like a match of that caliber, but if they'd have had that 10 or 15 minutes more, they'd have definitely made their way into that match of the year. I mean, for me,
there was definitely a New Japan vibe about the entire thing because it started off a little slow. They started off wrestling, and then by the end of it, they didn't quite have New Japan time. Right.
The only thing they were really missing was like a lot of like finisher reversals if they wanted to have that New Japan big match feel.
I think we would have gotten that in the last 15 minutes. I think that's where everything was heading. And since we didn't get that, there was that sense of but as someone who hasn't watched a ton of New Japan, I know the formula, but I'm just like, this is WWE, so I wasn't expecting that. But I did find myself like, 15 more minutes, please.
I enjoyed it. I will say that. I'm not shitting on it at all. I enjoyed it. I think it's probably Balor's best match.
Well, just think of it. There's no story. All the story was told in the ring. There was nothing. It was just the 2 guys that wanted to win. That was the story.
It was very much like a PWG thing.
Yeah,
and
2 guys just turned together.
Yeah, like it's a dream match for some. They turned up, tore the house down. Everyone went home happy with that.
Yeah.
Very PWG.
I thought it was very, very, very good. Match of the night for me personally.
Oh yeah.
So, you on board with that, Travis?
Oh man, the match was good. For how short notice it was booked, all that. Yes, it was a dream match. The match was fine. It was a little sloppy, but come on, they had 2 days notice, and Styles was jet lagged like a motherfucker. You could tell.
That Hurricane Rana off the top rope, the springboard Hurricane Rana.
That was cool.
That was scary.
that was fucking sick.
I liked everything about this match until, and here it comes. I went on fucking social media, and I'm sorry, guys, I got to do it. Bullet Club fans, pick a fucking side. You people bury this goddamn company, okay? You make fun of it. They throw you one fucking bone, and you're on board. You're on board. This was awesome. I'm glad I watched. Oh, I'm sure you are. Fucking pick a side. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You either want to invade WWE or you don't. Like, Jesus H fucking Christ, people. At least know. I mean, if you're going to bitch about things, that's fine. But know what the fuck you want. Know what you want. That's all I ask. That's all I really ask. That's all I got to say.
There you go.
That's like me when I take a girl out for dinner and she can't decide where she wants to go.
Well, you cut a promo on her?
You cut a fucking...
Let me tell you something, brother.
He's right. Like, and I know this comes like one day after I put that massive fuck off Bullet Club flag above my bed in my room. But I hate the majority of Bullet Club fans. Like, I will say it. Like, I know they're kind of expired, but I like the Bullet Club. But at the same time, I understand that these days wrestling begins and ends with that fucking company from Connecticut. Like, the WWE is the big company. It will always be the biggest company. So I hate, like you said, I'm a Bullet Club fan, but at the same time, I enjoyed that match so much. Like, I hate the people that say, "Oh, I don't watch WWE." I watch New Japan because you know for a fact they watch WWE.
You mean like
I know
Mike?
we're gonna get to Raw this week on later episode, but last night on Raw after Kane and the Balor thing, I saw someone who flat out put "fuck this company," and it's a person that they always do that, and I'm just like, and I retweet, I'm like, yeah, you'll keep watching and watching and watching. I don't get it.
Yeah,
Don't like it. Off the shit. And shout out to our dear sweet pally Mike Kilby. He's a great guy and all, but come on, man, you're not telling me there's not one moment in WWE history, at least one that you love. You do. Everybody does. Don't pretend like you don't.
He watches.
That's like
He goes to the live shows. So
yeah, he's just being a little Marky Mark. What a guy.
it's like again, it's like this fucking divide that independent fans would bring upon themselves. Like, I see it. I'm on this like Progress Wrestling fan page, and this independent like wrestling fan page, and this New Japan fan page, and they always go like, someone says like it makes a WWE comment, and then they're always like, oh, who are they? And they always get loads of likes, and I'm like, are you fucking serious?
Hey, that's my gimmick.
As much as I don't like a lot of the guys in Bullet Club, I don't hate them all. I think some of them are really good. I kind of want them to get signed. Every single one of them signed to WWE. Just so then what, Bullet Club fans? You're going to look so fucking dumb when that happens. And I cherish that time when it comes. It's rose-colored glasses, totally. I know it's not going to happen, but I wish it would.
I can't wait. I can't wait for Kenny Omega to get signed just to languish in NXT as a jobber.
But it's so weird that it's so weird to think that like, unless these guys like stay as gaijins in New Japan, they're going to the WWE. Like, I'm trying to think. Somebody like Tama Tonga is one of those guys that will probably be like, fuck WWE whilst he's in a Bullet Club, and then end up as like a mid-carder in the WWE.
Yeah, I could see that.
Quite frankly, with the state of independent wrestling,
yeah,
all those guys on the indies and Bullet Club making a killing way more than they would in that company, they're totally entitled to say that. By all means, make that money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But it's
get paid, son.
But it's like these guys have so much more of a chance of main eventing WrestleMania than they do Wrestle Kingdom. And it's just bizarre to me, guys. It's just bizarre to me that they make these comments. But it's the fans more than the actual wrestlers. I think the wrestlers like have that level of respect because any American or Canadian or European wrestler that says they didn't grow up inspired or at least watching WWE is a big fucking liar.
Yeah,
or watching an American or watching like the NWA. Or at least Crockett Promotions at the time, or wherever.
You want to get to the big leagues. End of story. And from big leagues, this next match was big leagues.
Well, wait, Persky, you forgot the elephant in the room. The biggest part of the buzz of that match, the too sweet after. What a dick slap in the face that was from WWE. Huh?
I thought that was a big fuck you to the to the Young Bucks personally. That's how I chose to take it.
Well, interestingly enough, Styles came out.
Yeah, and he responded.
Did you see
somebody.
that? Yeah,
I did. Yeah,
because this guy basically said, "Oh, AJ, the company made AJ fly thousands of miles just for a big fuck you to the Young Bucks." And Styles came out and basically said, "Well, no, it was what me and Finn came up on the fly with." And I was like, I part believe him, part don't.
I believe him.
I don't believe that on the fly at all. I think that was totally coached. I think the whole point of that match, right after this cease and desist bullshit, was just to get that little pose in, just to slap their dick in their face, like I said.
Maybe.
I mean, I suppose so, but then they'd have to know that Bray Wyatt was going to be out.
Yeah, there's that.
Well, I mean, 2 days' notice in Vince, it'd still be petty as shit, you know.
Oh, yeah, definitely someone came up to him and, hey, Vince.
Vince had it in his back pocket.
Yeah.
It's time to strike, pal.
On this, pal. Now I got a reason.
Oh, God. And then I actually felt bad. Up next, we had Jason Jordan versus Elias. I felt so bad. Like, you had to follow Styles and Balor. It's like somebody backstage hates these two bastards.
So someone's got to do it.
It's Jason Jordan, though. He could have followed fucking Tamina in the crowd, wouldn't he? I mean, if they're going to do this heel turn with Jordan, it needs to be soon. The fans are never going to get behind him with this babyface stuff unless he, like, pulls an Austin anti-heroes thing. Well, it'll never happen. But they need to start winding down it and just bringing it full circle with the storyline. They've got to do something with this kid, you know?
I will say, though, Jason Jordan coming out of a shopping cart and throwing vegetables at Elias was genuinely so
I thought
funny.
it was Raven for a second when he was hardcore champion. He always had like a shopping cart, but it was Jason Jordan.
Yeah, it was really funny. And he looked so happy to be throwing that
Yeah.
produce at.
It's when the cabbage hit him. Somebody's like, "Will somebody stop these fans?"
But that proves my point right there. What you said, Robbie. They're literally trying everything with this kid. They're taking one of the heels right now who literally irritate the shit out of the fans. The fans will fucking pay anything to see him stop playing. But it's not working. Even the lettuce, it was funny, but then he had to work, and then nobody cared.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, and also as well, like, you kind of got to think what Jason Jordan was trying to accomplish here. Like, I'm gonna throw vegetables to the point where he wants to wrestle me. Like, it was just a really bizarre thing, but at the same time, it was something I could think only WWE could do this. But from now on, you got to think of where Jason Jordan's position in the company is, because they've completely forgotten that he was meant to be Kurt Angle's son.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's true. They mention it every once in a while, but it's not really. It doesn't really matter.
It's totally like one of those angles for them, like Bailey, this is your life. They kind of wish they never happened. They wish that. But now when you say somebody's son, it's kind of hard to go back on that. I mean, they could write it all along. What I would do to turn Jordan heel, like get him an IC title, okay? I know that sounds like shit right now, but hear me out. Give him the IC title. Have Kurt come out to celebrate backstage, whatever, in the ring. Then he attacks Jordan, right? Or no, I'm sorry. Then Jordan attacks Kurt, right? And said he was never really his son. He lied just to get a push to get a title. I think that's the best way to do it at this point.
Yeah.
It's definitely better than what we've gotten.
Yeah.
Gotta say that.
And it's not like Jason Jordan is a bad wrestler. He's a very, very good one.
Oh, he's tremendous.
But it's just they need to give him something to do. And like I said, Travis, that idea is very good enough to give him something to do.
Yeah. It would give him purpose, which is what he's lacking.
That's what you need in the WWE, purpose.
It gets the ball rolling to something. You know what I mean? Instead of him just stagnating in this cringy babyface character.
Yeah,
because
and there's just no reaction. Like as soon as his music hits, it has the opposite effect of a pop. Like it just sucks all the air out of the room. There's just nobody. Yeah. They fucked that up big time. Big time.
So I remember getting really excited over American Alpha.
Yeah,
doing like American Alpha stuff. And now I miss American Alpha.
Difference a year makes, huh?
Yeah, the theme song came on my phone the other day. And I was just sat there in work thinking about American Alpha. And I was just like, oh, what could have been? There could have been like one of the best tag teams ever in the WWE. Nope. Yeah. A white man said he had a black son. So the interesting thing here is, I was telling my dad about this storyline.
I remember that conversation.
So, okay. And I was like, he came in and he was watching TV, and I was watching this, and he was like, "Did he just say who's Kurt Angle's son?" And I was like, "Yeah, he did." And he was like, "You do know this isn't real?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know."
I had a few too many.
It's one of them storylines where I turn around and I'm just so embarrassed to be like, "Yeah, I watched this."
Try growing up during the Attitude Era.
They should have done it. They should have done the reveal with Maury.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Can they afford Maury at this stage of the game with their financial burdens and shit?
Hell no.
They could have afforded it enough to be like, Kurt Angle, you are the father.
Could they at least send two guys out with a fire extinguisher each for Kane's entrance? Because they got to do something with no pyro. Oh, Christ, it's not the same at all.
It really isn't.
Yeah, why are they doing no pyro?
Well, let's not talk about. I'm so sick of hearing about pyro. But speaking about Kane and Kurt Angle and all things that are fun, we're at our main event now. The Shield, well, almost the Shield. Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Kurt Angle versus Kane, The Bar, Miz, and Braun Strowman. Now, the best way that I found to describe after I was done watching this match, the best way I could describe it was a cartoon, but just like a cartoon, it was a lot of fun, so I didn't mind it. I wasn't bored at all. It was overbooked. It was ridiculous. I will say this: my sore spot with this match that sticks out like a sore thumb to me was that god awful part where the Kane pulled down all the chairs on top of Braun Strowman. I was like, that doesn't look like it hurts. It looks goofy. It looks flimsy. It didn't look very effective. And I don't know. I just didn't like it. But everything else, except for the garbage truck homicide, that I was like, okay, well, this is silly. I understand, he's the monster among men, but you can't kill him. Because if you put someone in a garbage truck and you close it, you kill them. That's how real life works.
Yes.
That's not me being nitpicking. That's just how life works. I'm sorry, but besides the attempted murder or maybe the murder, and the chair spot, I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought Kurt Angle coming out with a big smile on his face was hilarious because it's the Shield. You're supposed to be
so funny.
I thought it was so but in his defense, he just seemed happy. He's just like, he stole Apollo Cruz's gimmick for one night. He's like, I'm just really happy to be here.
He's just happy to be cleared to compete, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder if he was actually ever competitive. Or they were just like, well, let's do it.
Yeah, it was like Vince walked up to him. He's like, how you feeling, pal? And Kurt's like, yeah, I'm feeling good. All right, you're cleared. You're in the main event, kid.
Don't tell Daniel Bryan.
Started tearing up when he told him the good news.
Probably.
A lot of people, speaking of the entrance, a lot of people bitched that he didn't come out to his Olympic year. I was fine with it because if they blow their load on that now, it won't feel special for when it finally happens.
Yeah, if he comes out and does it at WrestleMania for the first time, or if he comes out in the Royal Rumble in a singlet, you know what, lads? That's me booking the Royal Rumble. That's what Kurt's doing.
I know you don't like the dirty word of it, pyro, Bursky, but it's not like he's going to have pyro for the entrance anyway, guys. So what are you so excited about,
Oh, that's true.
That's a good point.
But I will say, though, when he went to the back, I knew he was coming back out, but
oh, yeah, definitely.
I thought he was going to come out in a singlet.
I really thought Brock was in that fucking garbage truck because they were in Minneapolis. It kind of would have made sense in a way. Kind of wouldn't. I mean, for some reason, I really thought he was going to pop out of that.
Nah, Brock doesn't give a fuck.
I know he doesn't give a fuck, but I just had a gut feeling he might be in it.
Yeah, I just thought there was going to be somebody significant driving the truck.
I certainly didn't expect murder.
No,
I didn't not expect murder. No.
So at least I was surprised. I'll give it that.
Should have been Vince driving the truck.
I thought, when I saw because I wasn't focusing, because I may or may not have illegally streamed this because the network decided to cancel my subscription 30 minutes before the actual main show. But I wasn't focusing.
Story.
I wasn't focusing on the match, and I saw the driver of the truck come out, and I just saw jeans and a black t-shirt, and my mind instantly went, "Oh shit, it's Samoa Joe," and it wasn't. It was just
Steve Austin.
What?
I just wanted it to be somebody significant. Can you imagine if it was
No, but you know what? The match was so overbooked, and there was much going on.
Like you said.
Exactly. Yep. I'm so glad that they didn't because it was so overbooked, and there was so much going on that a surprise return on top of that would have just felt like ugh.
Yeah, but if it was D'Lo Brown driving the truck.
It would have been like us three. He just comes out shaking his head.
I do think I know it was predictable because they always do this with their part-timers, especially multi-man matches. They leave the match halfway, it seems it comes back. I thought that was actually okay here because it gave people time to realize that Rollins and Ambrose are actually in the fucking match too, and not everybody just coming all over Kurt. I know that sounded gross, sorry, but you know what I mean. Yeah, and plus the bump that Kurt took was fucking brutal.
Oh, yeah. The power
slam through the table from. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just say I don't know why, but when they started doing that hand squeeze thing, I thought, oh my god, he's actually paralyzed.
Oh no! Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I was like, oh my fucking god, they've killed him. My god, they killed him.
They killed him.
But I just knew when Strowman actually picked him up, I thought, oh, it's a terrible idea. I don't know.
I really love Kurt came back out and he dumped Cesaro with an angle slam and he just stood there like, what mother? It looked good. It looked like Kurt was the baddest dude in the room.
Yeah. His when he went back, we all kind of had a feeling he would come back at some point in the match. And when his music hit and it was like his normal music, and he just came down, I agree. He sold it really well. Like there was no goofy dad smile this time. He was all business. So
Kurt's always been one of the best that flipped the switch from goofy to serious in the drop of a hat. He's always been one of the best at that.
Yeah, one of my favorite moments ever in WWE, and it'll always be is when he when he wears the little cowboy hat and he's like, "I'm a cowboy, yippee-ki-yay."
We're just playing Jimmy Crack Corn to Steve Austin.
Or his stuff with Edge and Christian was just killer.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That stuff was great too.
It's like the two things that stood out for me. Okay, one was incredibly just looked awful. Do you remember when they kept trying to put Ambrose through tables and just it wasn't working?
Yeah.
The second one when they were on the stage and he just slammed his head on the table.
Yeah, that looked bad. That looked really. At one point though, I will say, and maybe this is just because I'm old, I was just like, man, this beating's getting a little bit uncomfortable. Like at one point, it was like a good 5, 10, maybe even 15 minutes of just them getting their ass, like Ambrose and Rollins, just getting their fucking ass handed to them. And I was like, oh, it's getting a little uncomfortable. And that was the point where I was like, you could have given another 10, 15 minutes to Balor and Styles. Like they didn't need to have this long, drawn out sequence where the baby faces were just getting fucking destroyed. Like the point had been made earlier on in the match, and that's where I felt it was starting to lose it. And then they left the ring and they started heading up to the ramp, and then the garbage can murder happened. So I think the garbage truck murder, I should say, happened. So I think after the uncomfortable beating, it was when when the match picked up. And if you just take that chunk out and you give it to Balor and Styles, you make both matches better, in my opinion. But hindsight's 20/20. They did what they could.
I know it's unfortunate, but can you imagine if Kurt went to the back, and it wouldn't have happened for obvious reasons, but if Kurt went to the back and Roman Reigns came out?
I'd actually thought that might happen.
In a quarantine mask and a hospital gown, just running down to the ring.
He's like scaring everyone out the ring.
How pissed off would everybody have been, you think? Do you think they would have been mad? Or do you think the crowd would have pumped?
It depends what time he would have. It depends what time that he would have come out. If they were getting beaten down for like I said, a good 5 minutes, and then he would have came out, they'd have popped.
Wait, does Angle come back out, or is it just Reigns? Because I think if it's just Reigns, he gets booed out of the building. Because all you got was Angle for a bit, couple of offensive moves, and then he gets power slammed through a table, and that's it. He's done, and then Roman comes out.
Yeah,
I think people would have been pissed.
I'm glad they didn't do what a lot of people thought they may do either, like bait and switch. Like at the very beginning of this pay-per-view, I have a backstage thing with Jordan and Angle, and Jordan begging his dad not to do it.
God,
then Kurt gets attacked in a vignette, then Jordan has. Could you imagine how pissed people would be?
Oh my God!
I think even I would have been really pissed off at that because
I would have been super pissed. Thank God he had vegetables to throw.
Yeah, it's like I watched Kurt Angle wrestle in person last year against Zack Sabre Jr. and this guy was so off the pace. Like it was like a 10-minute sprint, but it was so off the pace to the point where I was like, when I found out he was wrestling in this TLC match, I was like, oh my God. They're going to kill him. And one thing I didn't get, this is just me being really nitpicky, but do you know when they quote-unquote surrounded the ring to get Miz and left the one side open, that Miz could have just ran back up the ramp? And
he didn't.
And he just went on his knees and went in the opposite direction.
I have thought that thing was ever since the Shield has debuted in 2012.
There's an obvious weak point in their strategy, but no one takes advantage of it.
So I generally think someday they'll do it to like Enzo or someone that's like a comedian. Like if they did it to like Breezango and they just went, "We're gonna go out that way."
Oh, that would be great. Have the Shield versus Breezango at WrestleMania.
I want.
Who's the third member of Breezango?
The Ascension.
There you go.
Both of them.
Fair enough.
They count as one.
I will say.
They count as one.
They answered my prayers. I know we're going to talk way more in depth on Thursday, but
I saw Kurt and AJ live at a TNA house show in like 2010, and It's like legit one of the best live matches I've ever seen in my life.
Didn't they run an angle with them too? For a while.
In TNA for a while. They had a couple title matches.
Mm.
When TNA was good.
Well, boys, that was TLC. SmackDown's on in 4 minutes, so we're gonna wrap up this edition of the Kayfabe Today podcast. Overall, what do you guys give this? Let's do a thumbs up, thumbs down, since that's what do we give it? Thumbs up, thumbs down, TLC. I'm giving it a big old thumbs up.
Okay, I'm gonna beat around the bush, but cut to the chase and say, before all these injuries, thumbs down.
Yes.
Before these after these changes and the show, massive thumbs up to the top.
I'm going to say there were a couple filler spots on this card. That's inevitable. For those, I give like the bar thumb where they put it halfway. Everything else, thumbs up.
Yeah.
I thought Asuka's booking especially was something that stood out to me. Just putting it at the beginning, just getting people into the show. It's a good move.
Yeah. I would say, and to recap on that, nothing for me was objectively bad or even bad. Like, I know I kind of turned my nose up at the Mickie James match, but, I still enjoyed it. It's just I didn't like the competitor.
There was something bad on the show we haven't mentioned, though. Booker T's commentary was just terrible on this night.
I zoned out.
Yeah, I don't listen to Booker T anymore. I only listen when he says, good.
Oh, I'm gonna get good.
Shucky ducky, quack, quack.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I felt so bad that we missed...
Coming for you, nigga.
Oh, jeez, Robbie. Oh, he's quoting.
Hey, he said that, not me.
He was quoting. He was in character there. It's fine. Oh, boy, let's get ourselves out of this hole. Robbie dug us. Oh, why'd you have to say nigga? There we go. Now I said it, too. There you go. Solidarity with my son. So
it's Halloween. A lot of nigga knocking's going to be happening.
Oh, my jeez. Everybody, let's end this show. Oh, I got to take a deep breath after that one. We're not going to put this one on Grapple Vision.
I was paraphrasing.
Now, before the racism broke out here on the show, I was going to say we felt so bad for missing 2 weeks. We thought we'd give you a bonus episode this week. So, Travis, thank you for being here on short notice. Robbie, as well, thank you for being here. Where can people find you guys on the internet?
Go ahead, Robbie.
You can find me at Kayfabe Today, but for some reason I'm just taking a break from writing Raw. I'll be writing again soon. I'm just out. But yeah, I'll be back writing some stuff, and you can also find me on First Thing in the Morning if you want to hear my voice, and also now Grapple Vision. So, yeah.
There you go. Travis?
As always, on Twitter at TheHibikTMD. Check me out, HibikTMD on YouTube.
There you go. There you go. If you want to support things I do, patreon.com/FTITM, or buy yourself a very own t-shirt from Pro Wrestling Tees at prowrestlingtees.com/FTITM. So for Travis and Robbie, my name is Erik, and this has been the Kayfabe Today TLC recap. We'll see you again later this week for the full show.
You can buy a hair that won't grow.